Hello, everyone. This is Carlos Casados with Hypnotherapy Breakthrough. And today I'm going to continue on the path of developing emotional resilience. So I think this is episode number 7 now. And some of the things I'm going to talk about today will be new, and I may reference a few things from previous videos. So if you haven't checked out the other 6 videos, I do recommend doing that. These are standalone videos, so each thing is something that you can practice and work on and should provide some value for you if you haven't done them. And afford you some practice to get better at it. But also, when you combine the ideas together, there's a synergistic effect because these are a variety of tools that you may need at different points in your life and during different circumstances. So keep that in mind. And today's focus is on building resilience through a couple of paths. One path that's really, really important is the idea of examining what stress is and reframing that. So we talked about reframing in a previous video. I mentioned that you can change the frame in order to change the game or control the game, right? A game of life, game of your experience, your subjective experience. So being able to reframe a negative thing into a potentially positive thing can change the ability that you have inside of yourself to access your resources. And remember, being resilient is the ability to bounce back from difficulty, but also to work through your problems, to realize that you don't need to be bogged down by the negativity that can sometimes arise. A lot of what I'm saying today is highly influenced by a really wonderful psychologist named Kelly McGonigal. She did a beautiful TED Talk. Beautiful. It's called How to Make Stress Your Friend. And I highly recommend, if you want to supplement this video, go and YouTube that. Just go search for her TED Talk. It's fantastic. So I'm going to sum up, a couple of pieces that I think really apply here. One of the things is that what's stress? Okay, as I understand stress, just in a really broad terms, stress is any influence that causes the need for adaptation. That's pretty broad, and it doesn't sound too scary, right? So technically, stress doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be terrible. But we have this idea that's been kind of installed in us from culture, which is that stress is bad. Stress kills, and it's the number one killer, and all these kinds of things. Stress can kill you. It's just not true unless you really believe that, in which case it starts to become true. What is true is that stress causes changes, and it causes you to have to adapt, which is more change, right? The thing is, though, when you do a push-up, or you lift weights, or you run, doesn't that cause stress to the muscles and the bones and the sinews? And doesn't that breaking down of the tissues cause you to become stronger at the end of it? As long as you don't injure yourself, right? There's kind of a healthy level of challenge that causes you to grow. And what about doing your math homework? Okay, I personally would not consider myself mathletic. However, whenever I did my math homework, I didn't like it very much, but I got better at it. That's the thing. By challenging ourselves, we grow. So maybe if you apply that thinking towards your stress, you could get some good results just by adopting a generalized attitude that you're going to apply to your whole life that says, instead of turning stress into the bad guy, why don't I just reframe stress? That stress is potentially a positive thing that could make me stronger. It could build resourcefulness in me. It could prove my resilience, and it could improve my strategy. It can even make me tougher, stronger, smarter, faster, and many other things. So I'm going to invite you to take that attitude about stress, that stress is your friend. It may not seem like that when you're panicking about something or you're frustrated about something, But I think if you explore this idea in your own life, do it as a thought experiment, you're going to see that that's true. Stress is your friend. So take a default attitude right now with me. I'm inviting you that stress isn't your enemy. Stress, maybe even your friend. It's like a tough coach, getting you to toughen up, getting you to be wiser, smarter, faster, stronger. Take that attitude now and you will reframe the experience. Another piece of it is to remember that anything that your body's doing to respond to the stress is probably kind of like an onboard, uh, defense and response mechanism. So it might not be a bad thing at all. In fact, it's probably good. So let's say your heart rate starts to go up and you start to breathe quicker. What does that do? That causes, chemical changes in your body, physiological changes in your body, which could potentially get you ramped up. Maybe your system releases a little bit of adrenaline or noradrenaline or whatever chemicals get released in your system. That's to handle the stress. Now, if you continued that over a long period of time and it was chronic, it wouldn't be good for you. But on the short term, it doesn't harm you at all. On the short term, it actually improves your response. Adrenaline can help you, handle a difficult emergency, for example. So you don't want to eliminate that altogether. You need to honor that that's what your body's doing for its right reasons. The body knows what it's doing. Don't frame any of those responses as your body betraying you in any way. It's not betraying you. Honor your body. It's doing what it needs to do. It doesn't need to prolong, though. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking about this. There is a certain point at which there are diminishing returns from that response, and that's when you use the reframing and the breath techniques and all of the different things that I've shown you, because I want you to realize that it doesn't have to continue. On the short term, though, you need to respond promptly and effectively to whatever it is challenging you. Okay? So, number one, reframe stress as stress is potentially good for you, like a tough coach or a trainer of some kind. It's boosting your responses. Second, remember your body's not betraying you, that whatever's going on in your body to respond is possibly and probably what you need to do in order to ramp up your process so you can handle whatever's happening. It's basically telling you, all right, step up. We really need that energy right now. And then the third thing is reframe yourself, your identity, that you are the kind of person who can handle this. Think about it. Stress has never killed you before. Chances are it won't do it this time. Whatever you failed out in the past has taught you something. Therefore, if you fail, it's going to be all right. You're going to be fine. You're going to learn something from that. So whatever happens, this isn't going to kill you. Remember that. As the old saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, that's often true. Okay? So take that attitude. You'll be more resilient, meaning you'll be able to bounce back through things and more quickly bounce back through them. So you have those qualities inside of you. If you just get good at telling yourself something like, I like to say, you got this, Carlos. I kind of take like second person or third person. I'll be like, it's okay, buddy. Man, you totally got this. You've handled worse. You're totally strong. You've got this, man. You've got everything you need. You've got all the resources inside of you, all the creativity inside of you. You are made of tough stuff, dude. You've got this. And I give myself a little pep talk. It just takes like 2 or 3 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. And then I go into first person. So I shift my perceptual position, like I mentioned in a previous video, and I say, yeah, I've got this. I can totally handle this. You know what? I've handled way worse than this. I'm resourceful. I'm strong. I'm quick-witted and creative and out of the box. And man, I've been through a lot. And nothing's ever killed me before. Chances are this won't either. And man, it's going to look really great when I'm actually thinking about how it was after I handled it. When I'm there in that future moment looking back at what I've done, I'm going to be proud of myself. Or maybe I'll have a funny story to tell or a crazy story to tell. But either way, I'm getting through this. So those qualities, if you just adopt them right away, are going to immediately cause a change in the way you respond to the stressful things that happen. So I highly recommend, and I'm inviting you right now to just decide from now on, stress is your friend. It's not your enemy. It's there to make you stronger. Stress is actually necessary for your growth. You and your body's responses are perfectly natural and healthy and appropriate to help you step up and ramp up your processes to handle anything going your way. And in order for things to really go your way, it's a good idea to realize that deep down in your identity, you're the kind of person who can handle anything coming your way. And so encourage yourself by saying, "You've got this," or some similar statement like that, letting yourself know nothing's ever beaten you before, and chances are this won't either. And no matter what, even if you fail, you'll live to tell the tale and you'll have something interesting to say. All right, that's all for now. Hope this is helpful to you. Please feel free to comment as usual. Click and subscribe. Feel free to share this with others. More than happy to address anything that comes up for you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I do hope that you spread the wealth, because whatever it is that you gain that helps you in life, when you spread that to others, you're making the world a better place. And wouldn't that be a cool thing?